Dagote, hello everyone. My name is Angela Noah. I am from Subicu, Arizona. I am White Mountain Apache in Oklahoma Choctaw. I am coming to you live from my apartment here in Eugene, Oregon. So I am your Northwest representative for the Healing Indigenous Lives Initiative. I am a peer guide. Today I'm going to be talking to you about culture as prevention. So I just would like to talk about kind of my upbringings of how I utilize culture. I have been enjoying reading a lot. So growing up, I was very shy. If you talked to me, I would get super red. I was that shy res girl, and I would always keep my face in a book. And I think that this helped my vocabulary, this helped with public speaking, and I just want to talk today about reading. So I've been reading a lot of really good books. There are amazing Native American authors out there. There are so many books on culture, and I've just been feeding my brain. It's really nice because growing up, I saw a lot of books written by non-native people. Being able to read books about your culture, learning and keeping that tradition alive. Something that I've appreciated is that understanding that we have such a beautiful oral tradition, meaning that many of our stories and teachings, last one, have been, passed down through word of mouth. My upbringings and being a White Mountain Apache woman has been taught through teachings from my mother telling me how things were back then, from my grandmother telling me how things were from back then, and me taking the responsibility to continue these oral traditions, passing down the stories and the songs and the language through word of mouth. I just want to encourage you, especially during social distancing and all the time that we have at home, find some good books. There are many books online. This has helped me reading and listening to stories, and I would like to read to you all a super short story. I read this book, I picked this up. It's called The American Indian and Alaska Native Student College, a Student's Guide to College Success. So the story is called The Old Woman and the Young Woman. The old woman bent and gave the young woman her hand. "I am too tired," said the young woman. "I cannot get up. I do not want to try." And when she finished speaking, that young woman lay back in the snow to die. She closed her eyes and brought up her legs. She decided life had ended. But that old woman, she sighed and she rubbed her stooped back and she stomped her cold feet. She looked at the stars and at her white breath in the cold, cold air. She looked at the young woman in the snow. She thought perhaps she should join her. "I also am tired, and I do not want to try either," she said quietly. Only the small stars and the thin air heard her. Only the cold in her feet and the ache in her back answered her words. She saw no wisdom in the dead grass. She heard no song in the dark sky. But the brightness of her spirit told her what to do. And that old woman bent her body and she lifted that young woman onto her back. And that is why we are here today. And it says the author is A. Noel Phillips. And the title of that story is The Old Woman and the Young Woman. And I love that idea because it means that for me, always remembering to uplift your community, being encouraged through stories and oral traditions. If you are home with an elder, ask them questions, get to know your culture, keep that language. And something that I've heard language teachers say is the language is never dead. We should never say dead or extinct. It's asleep. We should say the language is asleep. So it's time to wake that spirit up. It's time to wake that culture up. Be curious, always ask questions. We are here for you. My name is Angela Noah. I'm your Northwest Peer Guide, and it's an honor to work with you. I hope to see you soon. We miss you, and we're thinking of you.